If you're a disabled veteran over the age of 60, there is a very real chance the government owes you close to $8,000 right now, and nobody has bothered to tell you. That's not a typo, and that's not clickbait. That's a number built from real state programs sitting untouched because the people who qualify for them simply never heard their names. Before we go any further, hit that subscribe button, because what I'm about to walk you through could put real money back into your pocket this year. And you deserve to know it just as much as the veteran sitting next to you at the VFW hall who already figured it out. Let's be honest with each other for a second. You spent years of your life in a uniform. You gave your body, your time, and in some cases your health so that this country could keep going. And now, decades later, you're sitting there trying to stretch a fixed income across rent, groceries, prescriptions, and the electric bill, wondering why it feels harder every single year to make ends meet. You've probably heard the phrase VA benefits 1,000 times, but somehow it always feels like it's talking about somebody else, some younger veteran with a combat injury. Not you. Not the guy who's been quietly dealing with hearing loss or a bad knee or PTSD for 30 years. I want you to hear this clearly. This is talking about you. These benefits were built for you. And the tragedy is that most disabled veterans over 60 are only using a fraction of what they've actually earned. Here's what makes this so frustrating. The VA doesn't exactly send you a letter that says, hey, by the way, your state also owes you free property tax relief, free vehicle registration, and possibly a check for thousands of dollars you never claimed. No, you have to go looking for it yourself, buried in county websites and state veteran affairs offices that most folks never even knew existed. And that's exactly why so much of this money just sits there, year after year, unclaimed, while veterans struggle to pay bills they didn't need to pay in the first place. So here's what I want to do for you today. I'm going to walk you through 5 real, legitimate, state-level benefits available to disabled veterans over 60. The kind of benefits that most people never apply for simply because they don't know they exist. And I'm going to save the biggest one, the one tied to that $8,000 figure, for the end. Because once you hear what it actually is, you are going to want to write it down and act on it this week. Stick with me, because benefit number 3 alone has changed the financial picture for veterans I've heard from, and it's one almost nobody talks about. Let's start with property tax exemptions, because this is one of the biggest, most consistent ways states quietly help disabled veterans, and yet it remains one of the most underused. Most states offer a property tax reduction or a full exemption for veterans who have a service-connected disability rating. And depending on your state and your disability percentage, that can mean hundreds or even thousands of dollars knocked off your property tax bill every single year. Some states base it on a sliding scale tied to your VA disability rating. So a veteran rated at 70% might get a partial reduction, while a veteran rated at 100%, permanent and total, might get their property taxes eliminated entirely. Think about what that means for your monthly budget. That's money that used to disappear into a tax bill that can now stay in your pocket, go toward medication, or just give you a little breathing room. And here's the part that gets me every time. Many veterans who qualify for 100% exemption are still paying full property taxes because nobody at the county office proactively told them the program existed. You have to ask. You have to apply. It is not automatic. The second benefit is vehicle registration and license fee waivers. If you're a disabled veteran, especially with a higher disability rating, many states will either waive your vehicle registration fees entirely or offer you a significantly discounted rate. Some states go even further and offer free or discounted disabled veteran license plates, which can also come with parking privileges you didn't have before. Now, on its own, this might sound small. A vehicle registration fee here, a license plate fee there, but when you stack it year after year, plus the parking benefits that come with certain plates, it adds up to real, ongoing savings that most veterans over 60 never bother to claim. Because, again, nobody hands you a checklist when you retire from service. Now, here's where I want you to lean in a little closer, because this third one is the one that surprises people the most. Many states offer what's called a veteran's disability pension, or a state supplemental payment, that exists completely separate from anything the federal VA sends you. This is not your VA disability compensation. This is not your Social Security. This is a separate state-level program, and depending on where you live, it can provide a direct cash benefit specifically for low-income disabled veterans who meet certain age and income requirements. I'm not going to tell you every state has this, because they don't, but a significant number do, and the veterans who qualify and never apply are leaving real money on the table every single month. I'm going to come back to this one in a moment because it connects directly to that $8,000 number I mentioned at the start. And once you understand how these state programs can stack together, you're going to see exactly where that figure comes from. Let's talk about the fourth benefit, and this one matters more than people realize. Free or reduced cost hunting and fishing licenses, state park passes, and recreational access. I know what you might be thinking. Compared to property taxes and cash benefits, this sounds minor. But for a lot of veterans over 60, especially those managing chronic pain, PTSD, or the isolation that can come with aging alone, getting outdoors is not a luxury. It's part of staying mentally and physically healthy. Most states offer free or heavily discounted hunting and fishing licenses to disabled veterans, and many also offer free entry to state parks. When you add up what a family might normally spend on park passes and licenses over a year, this becomes one more place where you're allowed to keep your money instead of handing it over for something you've already earned the right to enjoy. And now, the fifth benefit, the one tied to that number I promised you at the beginning. Many states offer property tax refund programs, homestead credits, or direct veteran relief payments that are specifically designed to reach disabled veterans who own their home and meet age or income thresholds, often 65 and older, though some programs start earlier depending on your disability rating. When you combine a property tax exemption, a state supplemental pension payment, vehicle fee waivers, and a homestead or relief credit, veterans in certain states have found themselves eligible for a combined value that can approach or exceed $8,000 a year in savings and direct payments. Not from one single check, from 5 different doors that most people never even knew were there to knock on. Now I want you to really sit with that for a second. $8,000 is not pocket change. That's rent for months. That's a car repair you've been putting off. That's breathing room you haven't had in years. And it was sitting there the entire time, waiting for you to fill out a form you never knew existed. Here's what I need you to do next, and I say this with complete respect for everything you've already given this country. Don't let pride or exhaustion stop you from claiming what's yours. You didn't ask for a favor. You earned this. Contact your state's Department of Veterans Affairs, not the federal VA, your state office, and ask directly what property tax exemptions, vehicle fee waivers, state pension supplements, recreational benefits, and homestead credits are available to disabled veterans in your state. Ask specifically about age and income thresholds, because many of these programs are designed exactly for veterans over 60 living on a fixed income, which is exactly who you are. You spent your life serving people who never knew your name. Now it's time to let your state serve you back. If this video opened your eyes to money you didn't know you were owed, do me a favor and subscribe, because there is more of this coming. Benefit by benefit, state program by state program, all the things nobody hands you in a folder when you retire. And please, share this with another veteran, a brother, a sister, a friend from your unit, anyone who served and is now sitting on money they don't even know is theirs. You've already given enough. It's time to take back what you earned.